Doctor Who has had a new special, right? When did the special come out, Hypnotic?
I think it's Christmas special.
The Christmas special. And is this
talking about the Christmas special or the first 3 special episodes?
The Christmas special.
Yeah,
I think it's with the guy. There's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to remember his name. It's like
Ncuti Gatwa.
What the hell did you just say?
Ncuti Gatwa.
Ncuti Gatwa.
It's spelled Ncuti Gatwa, but it's pronounced Ncuti Gatwa.
Okay.
And I only started saying that because all the angry Doctor Who fans got really like nerdy on me in the comments. And they were like, I don't know if you know this, but it's pronounced Shooty. And I'm like, it's fucking spelled with an N. Like it's African or whatever.
He must be
Shooty.
Nigerian.
I'm like, okay,
right?
whatever.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that country.
Yeah, and there's apparently a scene where there's like a big dance and sing thing. Which I saw a clip
of the
of.
Goblin King or whatever.
Real quick, this is my alt channel, and my main channel is in danger every day of getting banned as a result of talking with these amazing people very candidly. So please do me a favor and subscribe down below. Helps me out a lot. Get the hell on it, doggone it.
I just like how we completely ignore like River's existence, because in that one scene where David Tennant's like, "Oh, I'm just like that now. I like dudes." Like, remember he implied that he like likes guys. He's like, "Oh, I like that now."
I'm like now, yeah.
And I'm like, wait a second, what about River? That was like several seasons long of River and like how he was married and they were seeing each other in reverse. Like,
it's so stupid.
God, what a great series that had all these plot lines that were like interconnecting, and then they're just like, nah, fuck it.
Well, again, you also got to understand it's now being co-produced by Disney. I think they invested $100 million or something into Doctor Who. So once Disney has their hands on it, I mean, now if you thought it was getting a little slightly woke before, it's definitely going to go off the rails now. You know, and I don't know if you saw the article where they're accusing people of being getting racist backlash now. Like, oh, everything's racist. They're doing the typical Disney. Oh, it's racist backlash. That's the only criticism that's happening right now. It's nothing but racists and homophobes and whatnot. And that only started happening recently. They went with a black doctor, and the moment they went with a black doctor, suddenly it's racist backlash, you know? And that's the reason why they hire people like that. So they can have a shield against criticism.
It's basically you cannot criticize anything we're doing or else you hate black people.
Yeah,
and I'm like, no, that's just an added bonus for me. Okay.
Yeah. So the racism is just the silver lining in the hatred. Yeah.
It's like, you don't understand. I don't like the show. I may also not like black people, but I just don't like the show. No, let me stop.
Yeah, that's mainly the issue.
Yeah.
It's just, it's one of those things like, yeah, we talked about that with John Boyega too. You hire this character, and then when people say they don't like something, oh, it's probably because he's black. People don't like the black stormtrooper. Like, you wouldn't know because stormtroopers don't take off their helmets, so it wouldn't matter who's under there because they're just cannon fodder. That was always the point of them. Or when Reva came in, it wasn't that she was black. People didn't like her because she was a terrible character and she was horribly written. But they're like, oh, you don't like her because she's black, because here in her DMs, another black guy used the N-word with an A on the end instead of a hard R. I'm like, bro, I call people that all the time. So like, that's not even, he wasn't even insulting her being racist. He's just telling her she sucks at her job. Like,
yeah.
Well, they use every possible troll comment to justify their argument for racist backlash too. Like, like you guys clearly either don't understand the internet or you do, and you're just using it to push a fake narrative about it being racist or whatever.
Yeah, you know? It's like when the Reva actress like shared one screenshot or two screenshots, people being like racist in her DMs. I'm like, dude, I get more than that.
Yeah, seriously. I get so many that are in my hidden fucking comment section of YouTube.
Dude, this is the entire nature of the internet. Everyone's on it. There's a lot of damn people. There's endless possibilities. And the issue is jumping back to what Mike said with the episode 7, aside from like the Han Solo thing, episode 7 was very okay. It was like a 6 out of 10. It was acceptable. It was when I went and saw it, I was like, okay, that was all right. But I'm really excited for the next one because they're building up a lot of shit. Who's this Snoke guy? What's this person? Who's this person? Who's this person? I'm like, they could really do a lot with this. You know, it was kind of boring and safe. It felt very safe. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. I don't really like how Rey didn't need any training, but whatever. I do think it's cool that we're gonna have like a Black Jedi with John Boyega because he seems like he's a good actor, good head on his shoulders. He's kind of fun. He picked up the lightsabers, swinging around. I was like, that's kind of cool. So I'm excited to see him become a Jedi and see him training and stuff. And then none of that shit happens at all. He goes on a side quest to a casino. He's riding like a goofy ass CG monsters. He's complete and utter comedic effect the entire time.
Yeah.
And then again, Ray needs no training. And God, Brian Johnson Ryan Johnson, Brian Johnson. It's Ryan. Ryan Johnson, in my opinion, single-handedly destroyed Star Wars forever, because I think if maybe J.J. Abrams kept doing it, it would have been okay, like a very okay thing. Or maybe if they would have even planned it, because that was one of their biggest problems. They're like, yeah, one of our biggest issues was we kind of wrote the movies as we filmed it. And I'm like, who the fuck did this? Who greenlit this? Why would you? Dude, I started writing a book recently that I wanted to be made into a graphic novel that I'm working with a few people for. And I wrote the entire like synopsis for the entire story, start to finish, before I even started writing the actual like long form, like novel form of it. Before I even started chapter 1, I know what's going to happen, beginning, middle, end. I know all the giant plot points and things that are going to be happening. I just need to fit them in, and I'm writing in between that and kind of filling everything in. Yeah. And I'm a dumb redneck dude that's not getting paid for this. And they have hundreds of millions of dollars in budget, all these talented writers they could pull from, and they didn't do any of that. It's the weirdest shit in the world to me.
It makes literally no sense. And the thing is, like, so J.J. Abrams, like, for a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people know this, but he used a writing style called the mystery box. The mystery box is a very good way to start stories, which is why The Force Awakens had a lot of questions. Like Kylo for the first time being like, yo, I actually like should be a light side person, but I'm kind of struggling because I don't want to be a light side person. I want to be a dark side and stuff. Like, it was like kind of, you're like, what's going on with all of this? But the problem with the mystery box is J.J. Abrams doesn't know how to stop making more mysteries. He just knows how to keep making more boxes full of mysteries. He's not very good at answering those questions after the fact, or when he does, they don't turn out very well, which is why a lot of times he'll walk away from projects. He does it all the time. He'll start them and then he'll walk away from them and take his hands off of them, or he'll just produce them. But like, the thing is, yeah, I mean, I'm a stream of consciousness writer. When I write, I'll just start with a story. I have a general premise or an ending or a middle or whatever, and then I'll start writing a story around it. But I would never be so presumptuous to make 3 movies and plan out 3 films and not have a general idea of where I was going, or have like a storyline where I was going. I mean, Adam Driver recently in the interview said they told him he was a bad guy all the way through. When they signed on, they said, you're a bad guy. You're never going to redeem yourself. You're a bad guy from start to finish. And you're kind of on like a reverse Darth Vader story. And he was like, that's really interesting. I want to do that. And then he was like, and then we didn't do it.
Yep.
Yep.
It's so sad.
Well, that's the problem too, you know, and you can see that in the film. You can see kind of the chaos all over the place whenever they do films like that, and trilogies or even sequels, whatever, and they don't have a plan. It's very clearly seen throughout the movie, and it leads to a very, very messy scenario where the canon is completely disrespected or just not even cared for throughout the entire conversation. You know, characters that could have been utilized, like John Boyega, he definitely could have been way better utilized, and all he got subjected to, like Camelot said, which is a comedy routine, and got shrunken on a poster. You know, so this is where we're at with Star Wars, which is why I'm completely checked out of it. So,
oh, dude, I didn't even see Rise of. I think it's called. Was it called Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah,
Rise of
I didn't
Skywalker.
see it. I've never seen it
awful.
before.
I saw those movies, but I never watched any of the TV shows at all, like any of the Disney Plus shows. I just completely, I don't care. And I've had people like on my panel who watch it. Like, I know Wyatt watches it, Leon watches it, because they just have they're those Star Wars fans that just have that little bit of hope. You know what I mean? Like, they always have that little bit of hope that they swear it's going to be different. Like, the show is going to lead to something different. And I'm like, bro, it's never going to. Like, just you realize, like, they've it's not like they're lying to you, right? Like, they told you that Rey is going to be the one, right? She's going to be the one that rebuilds the Jedi Order and all that stuff. She's the one. She's the one that they're going forward with. So it doesn't matter what the TV shows do. It's all going to lead back to Rey. So if you have a problem with Rey, you really should have a problem with all these stories that are being told in these separate little TV shows. It's all going to lead back to it. So they're honest with you. You can't say they lied. You can't say they bait and switched you. They told you what they were going to do, you know?
Yeah.
But people will still sit there, watch those shows and be like, what the fuck is this girl boss shit? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What's this girl boss shit? They told you this, you know?
Well, like, you could just see it like by who they hired to write these things and who they hired to like direct them. It's like, they're not people that really care about the IP. They instead of hiring the people that have made all these books and comic books and video games that have made great stories for Star Wars that they could use. They just go for these people that have no clue what they're doing, have no idea about any of the extended Star Wars universe that they could have just
like
used.
me and Lady Epic have a term that we use for a lot of current day IPs and stuff. It's just shitty fanfic.
It really is.
Yep.
Yeah, and like the Doctor Who stuff is shitty fanfic. Like,
It
what
is.
if Doctor Who was? What if he was bi? Or what if What if David Tennant came back and he was gay? Oh my god, and stuff. But those people don't watch the show. They sit on their forums and they write these stories for themselves. They don't watch these fucking shows anymore.
Not at
You-
all. They
Yeah.
they hear about it from someone and they're like, oh, that's cool. This is the new fad we're talking about now. Okay. And then they just go on, like you said, they go on a forum, they go online and they
Yep.
write some bullshit fanfic story from some fantasy that they had about it. And
Yep.
they're not really fans, but the problem is that those people now have what seems to be the biggest voice, even though it's really not, but online social media wise, they seem to have the biggest voice, and that's what these people are trying to garner as an audience. And it's
Well,
never going to work out. Like the viewership
Yeah.
numbers don't lie. You know what I mean?
No, but unfortunately, some of these guys are getting hired to be writers too. And the reason they're hired to be writers is because they're going to be compliant and they're going to listen and they're going to do whatever they're told. They're not going to try to rock the
Yeah.
boat and stuff. I mean,
They're
yeah,
good
but-
little bitches. That's
And-
what it is.